Hi friends, thanks for tuning in. This is going to be a reading for the new moon on December 26th. It's an energy transmission. I'm not an astrologer and this is not an astrological report. This is an energy transmission channeled from my higher self and my guidance. Please tune in with me while I shuffle. I'd ask also that you don't multitask while you're watching and listening to this reading. I want to make sure that you make the most out of your time here with me and that you're not missing out on vital messages by distractions that you're giving your attention to. So please call in your higher self and guides. Ask them to connect with my higher self and guides so that we can create a feedback loop to make sure that the messages that come through here today are tailored for you. So the energy that we're going to bring in this reading will describe the energy that's available to the collective for the next month, basically, from this new moon cycle to the next new moon. It'll be active, and whenever you watch this reading is whenever the messages are relevant for you. So even if you're coming across this video months later, you can still find some nuggets of wisdom that can apply to you. Just take what you need. So let's take a look. I'm feeling a little bit of frustration with this reading, with this spread. That's my first impression. There's something frustrating that you're dealing with that is feeling a little bit like old stuff, stagnant energy perhaps that's in your emotional space that is coming up as a result of some interaction with people or groups of people or a person, or even just your own emotional energy that might be coming up to the surface. Something that has been maybe deep and kind of away, kind of tucked away inside of you, is emerging for you to have a look at, to clear. And with that frustration, there's emotional energy, like also anger and disappointment and feelings around lacking in self-confidence. There could also be here some difficult communication with people or a person, or you may be dealing with a group of people where there's like a lack of ability to see eye to eye, or some disagreeing around the agenda. That's what I'm hearing. So there's a need here for discernment around this time. You have the Priestess in reverse at the foundation of the reading, and the crossing card is balance. Balance in this deck is actually justice from other decks. So these two cards, both in reverse here, are kind of saying that there is an element here of something that you've tucked away in you that is a misalignment or a mistruth is being revealed for you to look at, to be able to purge and purify and cleanse in order to create a greater space within you for more intuition, for more creativity, for more harmony within, for a greater sense of how do I describe that? Like when this thing is showing up and being revealed, there is some pain. There is some pain with that, and what I'm hearing is tolerance. So tolerance is required for you to actually deal with what you're going through right now. So tolerance for your own self, for your own process, tolerance for your own state of where you are right now. Maybe some of the frustration that you're dealing with right now comes from feeling like you should have already mastered this part of like human experience, and maybe there's some frustration that comes with feeling like you ought to know better than you do right now with what you're actually going through. So tolerance is required, and patience, perseverance is called for here, and also compassion for the self, compassion for humanity, compassion. There's also the Devil's Play in this in the spread, in the outcome position. Devil's Play is devil from other decks. In this deck it's called Devil's Play. And it's in the outcome position here alongside of the Nine of Pentacles reversed and the Eight of Cups reversed. There's also Three of Wands in reverse here. So what I feel that the energy of these cards here is bringing is that there's something that you're learning to overcome within, and it has to do with this whatever this energy here that is showing up, that's revealing something that's been hidden within you, that is an untruth or something that's misaligned to the authentic person that you are, that you're growing into. So there's a need for that energy of, for some of you, what I feel with this devil's play here in the outcome position is that there may be an element here of some comfort within that thing that you are seeing that's being revealed, that you understand is something that is needing to be purged and cleansed. But the challenge comes from your association to it, your attachment to it, or your what's the right word there? Affinity. Your affinity. You have an affinity with this thing. It could be a personality trait or some kind of belief that you've been working with that's been fundamental to the way that you process information, the way that you relate to other people, things of that nature. So there's a need to purge and purify and resolve that energy, which is actually something that has been stagnant and like kind of dormant within you. Like your awareness of that thing is now growing to the point where you have to work with that thing that you know has been part of your identity for some time, that needs to be excavated and released and purged. Down here in this part of the reading, we have Two of Wands in reverse with Queen of Wands, the Sun in reverse, and Four of Pentacles. So what that's telling me is that there is a new beginning here available to you, in a way that it gives you a greater freedom, greater clarity, greater creativity, greater intuition, those things I talked about earlier. And it's like you're right now, this work that you're doing, even though it's uncomfortable, it could be painful, as I've said, frustrating, even irritating, or anger arousing. It's giving you the chance to create a new foundation for yourself in terms of your emotional stability and your sense of self-worth, your confidence. And that will give you the position to then launch forward into this next era that we're moving into, with just in general like a greater clarity, greater awareness, and a greater capacity to be all that you are potentially. Let's have a look at the bottom of the deck. We have Sage of Pentacles, Four of Wands in reverse, Hierophant, and Ace of Wands in reverse. Interesting. So what I feel with this is that it's basically a reiteration of what I said. There's a learning here that's going on. You're mastering a specific area of your emotional life that, even though it's challenging and there is like a lot of, it's like darkness coming out to be illuminated, right? There's Ace of Wands, illumination. And there's this element here of, yes, learning with the Sage of Pentacles here and the Hierophant. There's like a kind of life schooling that you're going through right now. But what it's enabling you to do, or what it's providing you with, is a kind of clearance out of old behaviors, old patterns, old conditions that have been limiting you in a certain way from having a more broad and expansive experience. So, as I said, you had this Four of Pentacles here in this quadrant of the reading, and I talked about that being able to provide you with a more stable foundation for you to move forward within this next era. Now, this Four of Wands in reverse here is talking about the flip side of that, which is what you need to dismantle or deconstruct in order to create that new foundation. So this is releasing limiting behaviors and beliefs, all the things we've already been talking about, right? And this Ace of Wands is here in reverse. I feel that that which is being illuminated and brought to your awareness still has some, you still need to purge and purify more. You need to give more attention and energy to that which is being revealed in order for you to make the most of this opportunity to actually create that bigger space within you for heightened sensitivity, greater creativity, greater quality of life in general. So not an easy time. There's definitely like some tricky and challenging energies to transition through and to become awakened to in order to tap that potential. So keep going, persevere. As I said earlier, perseverance is a key element, I think, in this reading. Synthesize your awareness about what this is that's going on to access the potential of what's here by being really honest. That's why I feel like this Priestess in reverse here at the foundation of the reading is very telling. Along with this, the Justice in reverse. So these two cards here are both to me very much about truth and revelation. So don't shy away from that which is uncomfortable or painful or even unbearable. I'm feeling this energy that's like, this is so unbearable for some people. It's so painful to see this ugly truth being revealed to you. But it's in that moment of seeing that darkness and that ugliness that it can be purged and it can be released, and that thing that's been there, that's kind of been stagnating or causing you to feel lack or limitation, is by illuminating it, by bringing it to your awareness, by not shying away from it, by not avoiding it, you then will be able to create more light inside your body, and codes of awareness are being opened up that will give you a greater sense of freedom and well-being. It's all for your benefit. So that's the general reading. I'm going to leave it there. Now I'm going to take the Morgan Greer deck and shuffle again and give a sort of brief reading with a few cards for each of the zodiac signs to give a little bit more insight on how this might be playing out specifically for you in your circumstances at the moment. So again, tune in with me while I shuffle. Send your energy into the deck. As I said, I'm not an astrologer, so even though I'm using the zodiac wheel to kind of define and divide this reading up as a way of organizing the information, I would suggest you watch through the whole reading and just take what applies to you and leave the rest behind. Another way you can use this next part of the reading is look at your astrological chart and see what houses each of the signs fall into, and then you can apply the messages for each of those signs to the house that it belongs to see where these messages apply to you in specific areas of your life. So let's start with Capricorn, since we're moving into Capricorn now with this new moon. One more shuffle. Capricorn. Six of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, the Sun, beautiful. Six of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, and the Sun. So for Capricorn, I feel that the message here is that you may be realizing, like, this revelation that you're seeing now could help you understand how, reciprocity. I'm hearing new beginnings. So there's a new beginning for you in the physical world. There's also a new financial beginning here. And I feel that you're getting illuminated and alerted to or enlightened to just how powerful and profound generosity and reciprocity is. And you may be needing to understand that you need to really activate and put that into practice more in order to be able to activate a new time period or a new cycle of life here where you experience abundance in a more profound way. I'm going to leave that there, I think, for Capricorn. Excuse me. Aquarius, King of Pentacles in reverse, Ace of Swords in reverse, and Eight of Cups. Aquarius, King of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, both in reverse, and Eight of Cups. So for Aquarius, sorry, just a second. Aquarius. There's also something here about abundance and reciprocity and security. I feel like there's a need here for you, Aquarius, to have a total mental makeover with regards to how you consider security and emotional stability. I know that sounds really vague. I'll just give me a second here to see what else I can pull up. I feel that for Aquarius also there's a connection here between your emotional well-being, your emotional security, and that sense of physical abundance as well. It's 8 of Cups here. I feel that there is a need for you to it's something about cycles. Just give me a second again. Because what's jumping out at me about this card now is the moon. So I feel like there's something cyclical here that's going on for you at the moment, where you may be getting a revelation or an understanding about how, you know, your emotional well-being is connected to your physical security and your sense of stability. I'm also hearing stamina. Stamina. So for some of you, that's a specific message now that I'm getting, that for some of you, there is a need here for you to really understand and embody a space of perseverance again and stamina about some type of project that you may have initiated some time back, that you may not be feeling the financial reward coming back to you at this, like right now. But it's not about like letting that go and moving on, thinking that it's not going to work. The message here is like, continue to persevere and what's the word? Cultivate greater emotional stamina so that you can persevere enough and continue to pulse your energy and your attention towards something that is really meaningful to you and very dear, and like I'm feeling the energy of something that's like really important to you on an emotional level that you've been working on, that you may feel like your abundance is not being like the energy that you may be putting out into something is not returning to you, and you might be feeling like a little bit disheartened by that. But the message is clear here, like continue to persevere and inject and pulse your efforts and your intention into something that's really meaningful, and it will eventually turn into what you know can be yours, like abundantly. Okay, that was Aquarius. Sorry, Pisces, 2 of Cups reversed, the Devil, and 10 of Wands. Pisces. So we have the Devil in the previous reading here. Here it is again. Now, 2 of Cups reversed, Devil, and 10 of Wands. So this is pretty clear for me. What this is saying is that for Pisces, if you are in a relationship or you've been connected to someone, or like trying to work something out with a person, like we're talking about a one-on-one, intimate, romantic type of relationship. It's saying here that specific dynamic with you, and maybe this is a repeating pattern, or if you're not in a relationship right now, this is just like bringing awareness to what may be a repeating pattern where you get involved with people that you have this kind of like dependency on or with, or maybe there's like what may be bringing you together with this person, or what's aligning you is that you both have dependencies on the same type of substances or the same type of habits, or you know what I'm talking about. And it's saying here that this is unsustainable and that you must discontinue this type of activity, and that you need to bring awareness to what might be a repeating pattern around unhealthy dynamics with people where you have this shared habitual dependency on either substances or a certain type of behavior that you both are into, that kind of brings you together, but it creates this really possessive, unhealthy dynamic, like where the dependency becomes too big of a statement in the relationship, and that you need to move on from this type of behavior and understand, according to the previous reading, like what we spoke on with regard to that which is being revealed, some kind of dark truth that is showing up for you, that's showing you where maybe you have issues around lack of self-worth, or whatever type of truth is showing up that you are seeing. It's saying here, like, be proactive about activating your awareness on that thing and changing your behavior, changing your habits, breaking the cycle. Breaking the cycle. That was Pisces. Aries, Judgment, Lovers in reverse, and 4 of Swords in reverse. Okay. This is for Aries. Judgment, Lovers in reverse, 4 of Swords in reverse. Let's take one more. 2 of Swords. Okay. Judgment, Lovers in reverse, Four of Swords, reverse, Two of Swords. Again, this Judgment card is feeling very similar to what the reading talked about there with regards to something being revealed, a revelation, some dark truth emerging that's giving you an awareness about something that you may have been letting be or being complacent about or letting stagnate within you. And this energy, again, similar to what we just talked about there with the Pisces reading, there may be some type of dark truth or habit or pattern that may be kind of showing up again in your relationships, that's bringing you into union with someone that like where there's some kind of toxic pattern, behavior, or dependencies, or those kinds of things. And here, simply with these Two Swords cards, Four of Swords reversed and Two of Swords upright, simply saying you need to break open, crack open, illuminate what you already know to be true, and take action on it, and stop lying to yourself about it. Like, be real, be honest, be proactive, be motivated to stop enabling yourself by being complacent about whatever behavior, whatever misalignment there is here that you're becoming aware of now, to be more willing to look at that, right? Be willing to look at it honestly and I don't know what the right word is there. Just be really honest and brutally willing to see that which is being revealed to you, so that you can take action on ultimately increasing your quality of life by changing your patterns of behavior that have been in some way limiting you and restricting you and enabling you to continue with any kind of toxic behavior. That's it. Taurus, the World in reverse, Eight of Wands, Seven of Swords in reverse. Interesting. One more. Five of Wands. Okay. So you'll notice the lighting is different. I had to step away for a little while, but we were talking about Taurus, and we have here World reversed with Eight of Wands, Seven of Swords reversed, and Five of Wands. So what this could be here is, if you're having trouble closing out a cycle with regard to some kind of conflict or betrayal, there could be a need for a little bit more observation of the situation. And I feel that soon there will be some communication that will help to gain clarity or to resolve a circumstance where there has been some tension or strife or conflict. And things may start to ease soon. Let's get one more card, actually. Knight of Pentacles in reverse. So for some of you, what this may become is a realization that you may not want to stay committed to a situation or a person, one in which there has been some conflict and or betrayal or deception, and that there is still some, like the cycle isn't completed yet. There may be still some communication or information or evidence that needs to come to light first before some resolution can take place. But the resolution may not necessarily be a reunion or a reconciliation. It could simply, the resolution could simply be that you realize that you don't want to be committed anymore, and that you wish to change the course of your direction. That was Taurus. Gemini, Seven of Pentacles, Page of Wands, and Hierophant. That's nice. I like this. What this feels like to me is a dedication to a practice that you've already begun some time ago, or reassessing a project that you've already been working on for a while. And with the Page of Wands and Hierophant coming in, this is kind of like really committing to it, and also committing to learning new skills that you may need to cultivate and develop in order to continue growing and exponentiating on what you've already started. There might be a need also to reassess the project or the situation, event, whatever we're talking about here, in a way that is kind of a critique, but in a gentle way, to see what it is, what additional input you need to bring to it to actually really help it flourish. Cancer, Ten of Swords reversed, Hermit, Three of Wands. Let's take one more. Strength. Okay. So for Cancers, you may have been in a situation that's been really, really difficult, something that maybe has taken a long time to really close. There may have been a betrayal, there may have been some kind of unexpected or difficult ending to a situation, and you may be now in the process of rebuilding with the Hermit and the Three of Wands and Strength card. You might be spending this time now healing. You may be using this time to really gain clarity about what happened. You might be using this time to rebuild your strength, rebuild your life, rebuild your foundation. And with the Three of Wands here as well, there's also an element here of visioning and projecting into the future, or sending your intentions out, or creating, building a list in a way of like what it is that you want to restore your life with after this loss or this ending has completed itself. This is about looking ahead to what's next and really pulsing the life force into your vortex with what it is that is really meaningful, important, and relevant for you. But it's perhaps not an easy time. Obviously, Ten of Swords is a little bit of a difficult energy. And with the Strength here, it's really, I feel like this cycle that you're in now is really helping you cultivate a lot of self-confidence and a lot of independence. Cancer. What's after Cancer? Leo, right? Nine of Swords, Leo. Eight of Swords reversed. With Knight of Cups, one more. Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so for Leo, you've definitely been in a difficult time where you may have been feeling really really restricted, really limited, really stuck in your own thoughts perhaps. And you're coming into a time here now where some type of new energy is coming in that is helping you feel a lot lighter and uplifted, and giving you a sense of something beautiful to put energy and time and effort into, that has a lot of potential to grow into something really beautiful and long lasting. It could be a new partnership, or it could be a new business, it could be some kind of new creative project. But in any case, what you're coming out of is some type of sticky situation that wasn't really healthy for you, whether this is about just your own state of mind or people you have been either collaborating with or working with, or in some way involved in. This time I feel is coming to an end. If you use the energy of this reading, the first part of the reading, where you can utilize the energy that's coming forward and as far as what has been revealed, to really purge and clear and release anything that's been stagnant or old. And again, that could be, your own thoughts, your own loops, your own concepts and ideas, your own self-sabotaging behavior, your own, lack of self-confidence, which could be have been making you feel stuck. But it could also have been, people that you've been around, the influences that have been upon you. So you might be finding yourself coming out now into a time where there's a feeling of lightness and openness coming in with new potential for something different and new to begin. Virgo, Eight of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles reversed, and Four of Wands reversed. Let's take one more. Seven of Cups reversed. Okay. So Virgo, it says here that you focus on your work at the moment, but that there may be some destabilizing energies going on around you, where maybe there is some changes in your environment, like maybe your team is changing, maybe the people you're working with could be changing, or your location could be changing, or you could be also feeling a little bit unsure about the future of your work, even though you're seemingly very committed and very dedicated and consistent about what you've been doing. You might be coming into a time here where you could be questioning if you want to continue with this thing. And once again, I would say use the energy of this main reading for the collective to see what is being revealed. What is it that maybe was once really true for you that may not be true now, and see where you could facilitate your own growth by purifying and purging and letting go of things that are not really as relevant now as they may have been at one time. I'll leave it there for Virgo. Libra, King of Cups in reverse, Five of Swords in reverse, Two of Pentacles. One more, Hanged Man. Okay, Libra. This is a really interesting energy. King of Cups reversed with Five of Swords. And then the Two of Pentacles with the Hanged Man. Feels like two things going on here. So on one hand, you have this like there's some kind of emotional dissatisfaction or unhappiness, or with this Five of Swords as well, I would say there could be some kind of like emotional manipulation that you are being, what's the word? Pressed. It feels like a pressing energy, something pressing down on you, some kind of situation that you may have felt a little bit stuck in or under. And here with this Two of Pentacles and Hangman coming out, it feels like there's a moment here where you may be realizing that there is a choice to be made, and that you're kind of waking up to perhaps your own, how do I describe that? The feeling I'm getting from the Hangman is that there is an element here of you kind of having allowed something to go on for a certain amount of time. But with the Two of Pentacles showing up here, it feels like you're realizing that you actually have a choice to make here with regards to this energy that you're experiencing. And it's about whether or not you allow it. That's what I feel. And again, use the energy of this main reading to see what's being revealed, what truth needs to be faced, what perhaps dependencies or possessiveness or emotional relationship type of entanglements that could be purged and cleansed to help open up a space for you where you can feel a sense of freedom and release from a certain type of emotional bondage. Emotional bondage. Okay, that was Libra. Scorpio. Queen of Cups reversed. Four of Pentacles reversed and Ten of Cups reversed. And the Emperor. Okay. Scorpio. Queen of Cups reversed and Four of Pentacles reversed. Ten of Cups reversed, Emperor. Also seems like a little bit of a heavy emotional energy where you may feel depleted because of an unhealthy relationship. And again, back to the main reading here, like what is being revealed now that is helping you see that something you have held to be true or held to be real may be shifting now, and you might be understanding that there's something to purge, and that something to purge might be something that you've invested a lot in. You know, whether it could be a relationship, a person, a family, a career, something like that. And you might realize that this could be the turning point here where you may shift your approach to how you've been operating in a certain way and start to invest more in yourself in a more personal way. I'm hearing self-loyalty. So if you've been putting a lot of energy out into people, into a community, into you know, your works environment or something like that, I feel like there's a switchover happening here where you might understand very quickly that if you change the way you put energy into things and channel more of it into yourself, there is a much greater sense of self-empowerment and you know, strength and authority that you'll gain that will actually help you just feel a lot better and more confident and more secure and more stable in yourself. And again, back to the main reading. What has been revealed? What truth is showing up? What needs to be purged? What dependencies or attachments or possessiveness or unhealthy comfortability needs to be shifted so that you actually are more in your own authority, in your own strength, and are able to shift and release from any emotional stagnancy that you may have had, like allowed to kind of just be there for a while, you know. Sagittarius, Three of Cups, Moon reversed, and Six of Pentacles reversed. One more. Seven of Wands. This is interesting. This feels also like some kind of group situation here, right? Like I feel like there's something in your environment where you're either working or socializing with groups of people, and there may be an element in that where you feel there's something a little unhealthy. Again, back to the main reading. What are you seeing now? What is being revealed? What truth is showing up for you that is expressing something that is like kind of a switching over energy from something that was working for you that before that maybe not working for you now? And again, it could be people, but it could also just be an attitude or a mindset or something along those lines. But this, with the Moon reverse with this Three of Cups, I feel like there's something that you're seeing in a group of people that you've been socially bonded with that you don't like anymore. Something that's like not a little bit toxic, something toxic there. And so it's leaving you feeling like less confident, less successful because of the influence of this energy around you, and instead it's making you feel a little bit defensive and wanting to kind of establish a different boundary than the one that has been in place until now. So take a look at that. If you need to adjust your boundaries with certain social circles or individuals that at one time you felt very aligned with and very close to, but now you may feel like you want a little bit of distance, it's honoring that. It's honoring that. Okay. So that was Sagittarius, and with that we've been around the whole zodiac wheel. Thank you so much for watching if you've made it this far to the reading. It's an honor and a pleasure to read for you. I hope you found some things in there that you can work with. Thanks for liking, sharing, commenting and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next reading.